It's going to work, but we'll go for it.
Welcome, everyone. It's your Christmas Eve, Sunday morning live stream. We're here to answer any questions you guys may have. All right, Rick's got a bunch of new stuff, so he's trying to figure out how to make that stuff work, but I'm sure he'll get it focused up here pretty soon. But until we get some questions rolled in, Sully, how is we got 3 games already played so far this week. How have your matchups started so far?
Not that great. I won't lie. I've made some dumb decisions. I, at the last minute, pulled Najee Harris out of my Scott Fishbowl lineup to put Tanner Hudson in on a hunch, and that was a stupid move. And there's just not really a whole lot of stuff going my way. So it is what it is. There's going to be weeks where you're happy and weeks where you're sad. I'd rather have sad weeks in weeks 3 and 4, but here we are.
Yeah, it is what it is. I can't say I'm in a much better situation. You know, I'm in 4 leagues right now. I'm in the semifinals. One league, it's one of those 2-week matchups. It's like an old redraft league that we've been doing, and it's like the ESPN default settings where only the top 4 teams make it, and it's a 2-week matchup. And I got crushed the first week, so I'm not really too optimistic on that one. And then in the main Grand Prix league that I've talked about many times, going up against Josh Allen, Puka, and Gabe Davis, who, all combined put up like 85 points. So to my Alvin Kamara, my Josh Palmer, and who else did I have? Stephon Diggs. It's not looking too bright for me either. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get some career, or I'm not career, but definitely season highs from guys like Jonathan Taylor, Bijan, Travis Kelce, even to give me a chance. But third place pays pretty well, so I guess I can live to fight for that. So can't complain too much. And then the other leagues, kind of weirdly enough, we haven't really had that many people play, so it's kind of still up in the air for those matchups, at which we'll see today. Definitely got a good chance in both of those though to advance to the finals, which is I just want to win one at this point. Like I'll just be happy for one and placing in a couple.
Totally hear that.
Yeah,
totally hear that.
Yeah, one league, my roster's dominant, but the guy I'm playing against is like one of those guys that could easily has those guys that have those ceilings. So definitely nerve-wracking playing against those. But with that being said, first question from Sea-Dog is Purdy or Mahomes? Definitely a warranted question. And then Ridley or Amari Cooper? Who you got here?
I'm sticking with Mahomes. I know that Purdy is a solid option, but the last time we saw Patrick Mahomes put up a decent effort, it was against the Raiders, and I think he can do that again. And I just think he's a better quarterback, and I get that Purdy has the better weapons in those situations, but I will stick with Mahomes there.
Sully's in New Mexico, so his internet is going to be a little bit.
So I'm gonna go with Amari.
Sounds like Amari Cooper,
here, my boys. Yeah. I apologize.
It sounds like Amari Cooper and Mahomes for him. Rick, you got everything figured out for now?
Yeah, I mean you can hear me. It's just my camera keeps pausing. I think I'm going Purdy. I just quarterbacks are so close as it is. Purdy's been putting up better points for a while now. Mahomes has just not been himself with the way that team's constructed. So I'm going to go with Purdy, and then Amari Cooper and Flacco love each other. And we said it when Flacco first came in, whether he's a good NFL quarterback or not isn't the question. Is he going to sling it? And he's going to sling it. And that's good for Amari Cooper. So I'm going to go with Cooper and Purdy.
I am also going to go with Brock Purdy here. The Chiefs offense has just not looked very impressive this year whatsoever. I mean, they've had their moments, of course, you're going to with guys like Mahomes and Kelsey, but Purdy, since the bye week, has been lights out. He had some struggles right before the bye week, but it seems like after that offense has just been smooth. So I'm going to go with the hot hand at this point with him. And then when it comes to Ridley and Amari, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going Amari Cooper here as well. And Flacco might not be that great, but man, he throws a lot of passes and Amari Cooper gets a lot of targets. But I can see the upside of Ridley this week with it looks like Trevor Lawrence might be playing or is playing. And there's now no Christian Kirk or Zay Jones this week. So, I mean, Ridley's got tons of targets to go around, but I think it might be more of a bump for Parker Washington than it is for Ridley. So, that's I think we all went Amari there, and then Rick and I went Purdy, and Sully stayed with Mahomes. Castillo, Swift, or Aaron Jones? I'll start with this one. This is easily Aaron Jones for me. When he was healthy, like we saw last week, he got a decent amount of touches. And I just don't trust the workload that Swift gets with the Eagles. He doesn't really have much touchdown upside when it comes to inside the 5-yard line. That's all Jalen Hurts, it seems like. So I'll go with Aaron Jones as long as he's healthy and going. Solly, you able to answer? He is not. They're all having technical difficulties today. Rick got a bunch of new equipment, and Sully's on vacation in New Mexico, probably on some internet, or some hotel Wi-Fi or something like that. That's not be able to keep up with the stream. DM Fresh, Gibbs versus that Vikings run defense, or Swift versus the Giants soft defense? It seems obvious, but I'm torn. It's obvious for me. DM Fresh. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs here. The good thing about a guy like Gibbs is tough run defenses don't really matter for him because of that PPR value, right? When you're getting potentially 4 to 5 catches a week, and along with how well that offensive line has been blocking for both him and David Montgomery this year, and that team leans on that run game, I feel comfortable starting Gibbs and Montgomery over Swift against this Vikings run defense. Like I said earlier, Swift, just doesn't get the goal line touches. He could have that big week like we saw early in this season, but it's just he got a lot of hype early, and then since then has been pretty disappointing throughout the season, or at least inconsistent with a couple of solid weeks there in between. So,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, cool.
What are your thoughts on this?
All right, let me catch up here. Where we at?
We're on Gibbs versus the Vikings tough run defense, or Swift versus the Giants soft run defense.
Oh, I'm going Gibbs here. He's just too good, and catching passes out of the backfield versus a tough run defense is something that can definitely happen. So, I'm gonna take the more talented back. I think that Detroit got this right between these two, and hopefully we get it right as well.
Yeah, I said I'd start both Lions running backs over Swift this week pretty easily. So, Joe Lindsay, starting ham in a one main dish course. What would you start in your flex? Mashed potatoes or scalloped potatoes? This is easily mashed potatoes for me. I'm not really a big fan of scalloped potatoes. This is easily mashed potatoes.
Man, it depends. It really depends. I've had some really good of both, but I'll probably lean mashed potatoes as well.
Geez, Sully, what side dish are you going with? Scalloped or mashed?
We'll get his answer in 3 minutes.
Yeah, last time I asked him a question, it did the same thing. It's like, no, DM Fresh 91 says Merry Christmas, y'all. You good to take over?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this one, we got Bijan Robinson or Aaron Jones for Castile. Where are you going with this? This is tough because it should be Bijan.
100% should be.
But
Bijan.
you should be starting Aaron Jones too. But we still do. Their weekly usage of him is inconsistent as well.
Yep. I'm going with Bijan here. Obviously, it's not Brian Robinson because he's out. So it's Bijan for me. I don't know. I didn't really watch that game last week. I know he fumbled, and it appeared that maybe he got punished for that early in the game. I mean, that whole team struggled. But, I mean, when a team is struggling like this, and Arthur Smith at this point has got to think that he could potentially be in this hot seat. I know that team started off pretty well, but they've been kind of cold since then. They got inconsistent play at the quarterback, and they're switching them back to Taylor Heineke this week, it looks like. You got to lean on your most talented players, and that's Bijan Robinson in that offense. So I would imagine that he has to get more involved, and with such high draft capital invested in them, if you see little usage and they're losing, like why would an organization want to keep you as a head coach at that point? So I'll take the more talented back, who I think and hope will get a bigger role today.
I mean, we're in the playoffs, so I'm going to lean Bijan just based on upside. If he ever does get unleashed, that could be something special to watch. And I hope it's in the playoffs. And it's not like we don't have questions about Aaron Jones and the way that Green Bay's used him when he's been active. And obviously there was injuries, but he came back, had a solid week last week. Wasn't great, but I'm gonna go with Bijan as well. I want the upside this week, and I think he gives that to me.
I need it. I need a big Bijan week.
Sup, fellas? PPR flex need one. Javonte, Will, Ty Chandler,
Mario Douglas, Noah Brown, or Parker Washington.
I gotta get used to this freaking thing, man. Where are you going with this one?
Okay. The answer I feel like normally for these guys would probably be Javonte Williams, but the matchup today is not ideal. I don't expect that game to be very high scoring between the Patriots and Broncos. That's tonight's game. Demario Douglas just might have a nice floor, but again, like the Broncos defense has been good ever since their blowout loss, so I don't really want any part of that. Noah Brown's kind of out of this for me as well because Nico Collins is back and CJ Stroud is out. Parker Washington is interesting for me, but with Alexander Mattison going to play today, there is news that he is not 100%. I am more than confident in the Vikings rolling out Ty Chandler as their starting back with him getting a decent amount of touches today. I probably have more confidence in his volume than the rest of these guys today. So I will roll with Ty Chandler and how impressive he looked last week. He alone could have won the Vikings their game last week if the play calling wasn't god awful in crucial moments.
I just don't know if I can do it with Madison coming back because it is between Javonte and Ty Chandler for me. Man, that's a tough one. Denver using all those backs, making it difficult.
I mean, Javonte has been getting bulk of the touches as of more recently, but I just and the run game is going to be alive the whole game, right? The Patriots aren't going to score a lot of points. For some reason they might, for no reason whatsoever, but unlikely. So he could have a lot of touches today, but I've been reading reports that Madison's like suited up, but he's not 100%, and that right there it's like. Is he just kind of there for a backup purpose for this week? I don't know. So I'm rolling with Ty Chandler. I think he's the starting back the rest of the season anyway.
Man, this one's tough for me. I don't know that I can do it.
The answer is probably Parker Washington in all reality, but
I mean, the only ones that are even in consideration for me are Javonte and Chandler. The other ones are all out. I'm gonna go Javonte. I don't love it. Marco from the future. Dang it. Says Merry Christmas, everyone. The U2001 MIA says pick 2 in a PPR, Chandler, McBride, or Walker. Merry Christmas. What are you doing? I'm on camera. You want to say hi? Mm-hmm. Look right here and say hi. Wave. Wave at him. Wave. Did you shut that door?
Pick 2. Achan's in for me. Yeah, Achane's
What,
in
you
for
gonna
me.
stay here with me? What are you gonna cover your face for? All right. We got Achane, Chandler, McBride, or Walker. Walker and Achane pretty easily for me.
Yeah, it's Walker and Achane for me. Walker is expected to play today with an ankle injury. If he's playing, I imagine he's good enough to get a full workload. So, and then the Titans' run defense this year has been pretty mediocre. So, I'll agree. Ooh.
Marco says McLaughlin, Sermon, or Elijah Mitchell. Start one. Shh. They can hear you. Who you going with there?
I think I'm going to go with Sermon. There's no Zach Moss today. JT is full with no limitations, but even when he has been, it seems like they like to utilize that backup running back. They're probably going to try and keep less miles on him just in case they do make it to the playoffs. They might try and lean on that run game. So if they can stay relevant today, I think they're playing the Texans, if I'm not mistaken, who are pretty banged up themselves on offense. So that could leave the Colts offense on the field a lot. So I think I'll go with Trey Sermon and hope that maybe he finds the end zone. The Colts do score a lot, so maybe he'll be one of those guys.
I'm with you. I'm with you here. Mitchell just doesn't get enough work. McLaughlin is, I mean, all these guys obviously have question marks, but I will go with that Colts offense and Sermon. Expecting them to at least give him some work, easing JT back in. LU32 Lofton says full PPR, start one at wide receiver, Jacoby Myers or Romeo Doubs.
This is Jacoby for me pretty easily.
For me, is Romeo Doubs pretty easily. We got banged up wide receivers all over for Green Bay. Romeo should operate as probably the number one today. So I'll take that. What are you doing?
Is Jaden Reed not playing today?
I know he was questionable the last time that I seen.
Yeah, I'll go with Jacoby. He had a decent week last time they played against the Chiefs as well. So I would imagine the Chiefs focus Devontae Adams and leaves maybe Jacoby with a little bit softer matchups for him. So we'll see. It's a tough defense all around, though.
Are you going to put on a concert for him? Say hello. No? See, then you get shy when I tell you to talk. See, she's rotten. Having a luxury problem. Hall, CMC, Pacheco, ETN, sit one. Well, you're not sitting CMC, so take him out.
I have a luxury problem in one league as well. It's not this luxurious, but it's luxurious nonetheless. But man, this is tough. It's obviously not CMC. I don't even know why you put him in there.
He's just showing off.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pacheco's not a sit.
No, especially when Jerick McKinnon is out too. Like, who's their pass catching back? Probably him. I don't know if I can sit ETN either. I mean, the usage is just nuts. I think it's got to be Breece Hall here.
Yeah, I'm sitting Hall.
There's no Zach Wilson this week as well, which I think Hall benefits most from. He gets way more dump downs from Zach Wilson than he did.
Go upstairs.
Whoever the other quarterback is. Boyle? Was it Boyle or was it Simeon? I can't remember.
Hell, I don't even know what's going on in New York right now.
Hey, what's his name? Not playing this year. Aaron Rodgers, but they're giving him a roster spot. What's going on? You see that? What a weird.
Yeah, it's weird for sure.
And then that fullback went viral for it.
Right.
The guy that cut because his wife apparently was super good looking. I didn't see that big, but
Merry Christmas. Down big already since Pickens decided to have a career game out of nowhere and they started him. Who was starting Pickens this week?
Had to be due to injuries.
Had to be. For running back 2, should I start Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones, if Dylan is ruled out, or Tony Pollard? So which one of those 3 running backs you going to run with there, Bryce?
Man, so you got to go to the ceiling play, right? What game? What out of these 3 games? Which one would you like to see be high scoring? The Dallas and Miami game, probably. So,
yeah, and Walker gets Tennessee, which is a really good team against the run, but obviously he can catch a pass or 3.
yeah, I think I have to go with Tony Pollard. If you told me any of these guys had 2 touchdowns, I think I would guess him. Just gotta hope that game can be a freaking shootout and Pollard gets 2 of those touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. You want to pop up Taylor
Meredith, thank you for starting 2 inactive players last week in the Intergalactic League. I wanted to talk shit last week, but I couldn't because you weren't in here. I started 1, so I can't even trash talk much. I accidentally put in Olave. We appreciate your 199. Where does Higgin land? Where does Higgin land next year? I think you know who I hope he lands with, but what are some realistic spots? I think that's 1. New England's got to be a realistic spot.
No, he won't go to New England.
You don't think so? Even if they maybe invest in a top quarterback or potentially, I know that, with all the rumors of Fields potentially being dealt this offseason, if he's not, I imagine that first pick is going to be dealt. I mean, very well could be a new quarterback situation there. And I think at this point, Higgins is going to want who can pay him the most. And I believe the Patriots have the most cap space going into next year.
That's where wide receivers go to die.
Well, it might be there's going to be a new coaching thing there. So it's not going to be the same organization that we've seen for the past 20 years.
I can't see Higgins leaving and going to a rebuild. I think that is where he's probably going to end up picking. I see, KC in the chat. I don't think that's necessarily a bad spot. I think KC is also going to be super active trying to add a weapon for Patrick Mahomes. They've got to. I think Chicago's on the table, depending on what they do with the draft.
For sure.
I think staying in Cincinnati is potentially a thing. Man, I don't know. This offseason is going to be kind of crazy.
I think
I'm excited for it.
I expect him to go whoever is the highest bidder is what I think, and you think more of a contender. So definitely.
Well, I think it's a combination. There's going to be contenders that offer similar money, and that's going to give them the edge, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
Seth, thank you again, Taylor, by the way. Seth says, for wide receiver 3, should I go with Jordan Addison or Chris Godwin? Need upside. Thanks, guys.
Upside for me is Jordan Addison.
I am going to go with Chris Godwin, and it's basically based off of quarterback, and I'm going to take Baker in a matchup that I like instead of Mullins in Minnesota.
Who does Minnesota play today? They play the
Minnesota's Lions, right?
Yes. So they're going to have to throw the ball today. Jordan Addison benefits from Justin Jefferson being out there. So I'll just go that with upside. If this was a floor play, it would easily be Chris Godwin. Much easily be Chris Godwin for me. But I like both these players.
This time of year, I always go quarterback, and if it's close,
that's fair.
Lofton says, thanks, guys. Happy holidays to you and your family. We appreciate you. We appreciate you stopping by, and happy holidays to you as well. Jet Hurt says, we need to sit 2 and start 1. Who are you starting? Jonathan Taylor, DK Metcalf, or Kenneth Walker? You have first world problems. Geez.
It's I'm starting Jonathan Taylor. He's got no limitations. The Colts are fighting for a playoff berth right now. They got, again, I think when it comes down to that, new coach is going to lean on his best players, and his best player in that offense is Jonathan Taylor. No Michael Pittman Jr. today, so that makes the run game that much more important. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor for me. 20 plus touches today. 5 of those could be receptions.
I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor, but something tells me that DK Metcalf is the answer here in that matchup against Tennessee. The one thing Tennessee doesn't do very well is cover wide receivers, but I will take all the touches that Taylor gets because it could be a Lockett day or a Jackson Smith and Jigba day, and that'll be the tiebreaker for me there.
JSN has been good lately.
Yes, he has. Jet Hurt says KC for the T. Higgins question. Marco says, do we finally rid of Arthur Smith after this season? I think it depends on how they finish. I mean, no matter what we hate as fantasy players with the way that he uses Bijan and Pitts and London and all that, they've won. They've done all right under him. So that's what they really care about. So I don't know. I don't know how hot his seat really is. Now, if they finish out, and they could, at least lose 2 out of 3 or maybe all 3. And then I think it becomes a real big question, but I'm not sure. What about you?
Yeah, it definitely depends how they finish. Right now they're sitting at 6-8, but still that division I think is the leader is 7-7 right now. They got the Falcons, they got the Colts, the Bears, and the Saints to end the season. If they lose all 3 of those, I could see Arthur Smith gone. If they end the season with at 8-9, or what would it be?
8-9 if they won 2 out of 3.
Yeah, 8-9 or even 9-8. Like it's hard to justify getting rid of a guy who significantly increased that team's win percentage going into this year with the quarterback play that he had. They just wrote it out with Desmond Ridder to see what they had, and he had something there. There's a lot of quarterbacks for them to rebuild off of this upcoming year with a lot of young talent on that team. They could easily give him another chance if he wins at least 1 or 2 of these last games.
Yeah, and again, obviously we don't like the way that he uses all of these players, but his job is to win.
Right. Yeah, of course. He's not playing fantasy football. He's an NFL coach.
And here's the other thing is if you look at Desmond Ridder at home has been pretty solid, and Heineke has been terrible at home, but good on the road.
Maybe they should switch him for that.
They might, they could just do the whole home away thing, and which means the Bears would get Taylor Heineke next week, and that's always fun. Flex. Oh, okay. We did this one. This is when he. Oh, wait. This is a different person, isn't it?
No, it's the same guy. But he commented something after it.
I have DK starting and debating JT. That's literally where I'm at. I kind of think DK could have a big day against Tennessee. But
yeah, I would say if you need a ceiling play, I can't go away from shy away from DK. He's been a nice floor this season too, but I could just see JT having like a nice little 18 to 22 point week as a more of a safer play. Just because I think he's going to get over 20 touches today. I just don't see how he doesn't, unless he gets hurt.
Lofton says, 1 more? ? Yes, ask as many as you want. Likely or Waller at tight end, full PPR.
This is likely for me.
It's likely for me right now as well.
That's going to be a fun game. It could very well be low scoring, but I imagine both these teams are going to have to score some points today to win. Both these offenses are hard to stop, so likely might have plenty of chances to get some targets today.
Marco from the future says, Hyatt, Pierce, Wandell, or JMO. Who should I keep for next season?
Interesting. Next season. It's not going to be Pierce.
It's not going to be Wandale. I think you're between the two, like, boom, bust, ceiling plays here with Hyatt and JMO.
Yeah. I guess I'm going to go with JMO. They really haven't had a really good wide receiver to step up. Maybe with a full offseason and a full season for him to play, as long as he doesn't break any more rules, even though I think the rule that he broke this offseason was kind of stupid. It was really dumb. Shouldn't have been suspended at all. He didn't even appeal it and still got his suspension reduced in half. He has plenty of opportunity. Obviously, St. Brown's the alpha there, and it doesn't appear to be changing anytime soon. So I'll just hope that JMO can step up as that number 2 in an exciting offense.
I'm going to go with JMO as well. I just think he's going to be more consistent than Hyatt and has the same upside. Both of them fast as shit. J-Mo's probably a better all-around wide receiver, though.
For sure.
Jonathan says, TD only. I'm in my Keeper League championship. Kudos for your help. Who to start in the flex, Nico Collins or Trey McBride?
I mean, this would be Nico if it was CJ Stroud playing. I guess I'm going to go with Trey McBride. The dude is a target machine. He's the number one leading guy on that team in the pass game out of all the
And
wide
Hollywood's
receivers.
out.
Yeah. I mean, this dude gets 10 targets a week. Like, he's a top. He might be my second or third or my third favorite tight end to play. I mean, he just the targets is insane. So yeah, I'll go with Trey McBride. It would have been Nico though if CJ Stroud was playing.
Yeah. I'm going to go McBride as well. You don't beat the Bears much on the outside, obviously, unless you're Amari Cooper late in that game when Bears want to have another historical collapse. I mean, Jalen Johnson's the number one quarterback in the league on yards given up in coverage. So they're tough there. They're tough against the run. But the one thing that has kind of been their Achilles heel, which I thought wouldn't be, is the coverage on tight ends. I thought we would actually be good in that regard because we have some good coverage linebackers, but that's not playing out. The tight ends keep leaking out on us. We've seen it starting in week 1 with Luke Musgrave, and then it just continues, and Njoku last week and stuff. So I'm going to go with McBride with Hollywood out and literally nobody else that has stepped up. I don't want anything to do with Mike Wilson this week because he's probably going to get a lot of Jalen Johnson, and Jalen Johnson has given up like 182 yards all year. So
yeah, he's good. And I'm glad they extended him.
They haven't extended him yet.
I thought that he was expected to get a huge extension.
No, that was a fake report.
Oh.
He wants to stay. They say they want to keep him. But instead, we just gave our kicker a 4-year extension.
Makes sense.
Which Cairo Santos has been good, but I would prioritize Jalen Johnson and his 182 yards, I think it was, given up this year. That's crazy. But it's funny because Michael Carter and Sauce Gardner are the next two. And they've given up like 240 and 260 yards, like 500 yards combined for two corners on the same team is crazy. That secondary is sick in New York.
Yeah, that's not even including DJ Reed. Like in those stats. I mean, I know he got burnt last week by Waddle, but
listen, guys, we didn't even think last week that this was Christmas Eve, and we figured with the games that have already played, a lot of people probably already have their stuff pretty much figured out, but we wanted to stop by. So we'll stick around for a few more minutes, but if you don't have any more questions, then we will hit the road and be back next Sunday for championship week. And then obviously the next weekend after that. We also let everybody know last week that we will be not only doing a live every Sunday, but we are also going to be creating some videos, specific content that we will drop on Saturdays for the Boomer Bust Show with me, Sully, and Bryce, and then be around to talk about that and answer any questions during the off season if you're one of those dynasty players. So for the last 4 years that we been doing this, 4 or 5 years, the Boomer Bust Show, we've only done it during the season. And we decided in 2024, we're going to go throughout the offseason as well and help you get ready for the season, help you get your rookie drafts in order if you're in Dynasty, and just keep that knowledge coming throughout the offseason. So we just want you guys to know that we appreciate you, and we want to do everything we can to help.
For sure. You know what? While we're waiting on some questions, I got one for you. I have a starter sit question for running back. Who do you sit out of these six running backs? You know what? Should I type it? Because it's a lot. No, I'll just say it. We got Derrick Henry. I mean, I'll just say them all, but Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, David Montgomery, and Ty Chandler. Which two do you sit?
Which two? I'm sitting Montgomery. I'm starting Derrick Henry. I'm starting Jonathan Taylor.
Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, and Ty Chandler.
Starting Barkley. And I'm sitting Chandler.
Okay. That's exactly what I have in right now.
I do consider Chandler over Jacobs because Jacobs gets Kansas City and they're tough. But
he did perform really well against Kansas City last time, though, earlier this year. He had 22.5 points. He had 22.5. He had 4 catches in that game, 20 carries for 110 yards and a touchdown. So I think he's been pretty historically good against Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. And Josh Jacobs has only had 2 games never mind. He's had 4 games with less than 10 points. 2 of them are the first 2 weeks. And then he had 1 against Miami and 1 against Chicago.
Yep, I think I go with that one.
Yep, I think so too. I just worried about everyone was saying Derrick Henry. I'm like, man, Derrick Henry's got the best matchup out of all these guys. And after last week, I can't argue. Like, what do you have? Like 16 carries for 9 yards. That's horrible. He did have 4 catches though. So, but that's what I'm rolling with. That's what.
Let's see here. So just got a notification of somebody else getting a notification that Aaron Rodgers eyes former teammates for the Jets. Jets QB wants Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, among others, in New York.
So why did he even play for? Why did he switch teams? Why didn't he just keep everyone together and play for the freaking Packers?
It's just who he is. Jonathan says, what Bears play was tougher to watch last week? Mooney on the Hail Mary, or Justin Fields running for and trying to run for the first down on 4th down play where he was barely touched and fell just short? Honestly, the Robert Tonyan drop in the first quarter was probably the most painful to see because, I mean, it was at least a 45-yard bomb, perfect throw. I don't know that he gets to the end zone, but it puts them in field goal range and could just change the whole flow of that offensive game. But actually, I think the most painful, obviously the Mooney's the most painful just because if that sticks in his gut, it's a game over and it's a win. But it's also a very hard play to make. But the first play on that final drive, when Tyler Scott didn't catch it, throw was a little bit high, but a professional receiver should catch it because that saves time. Even though he made up for it he didn't make up for it on the next play. Everybody says he made up for it on the next play, but he didn't because you didn't get that time back. And that's what ended up being the reason why you were heaving that Hail Mary. You may have been able to get in field goal range and try to tie it up. So that's where I'm at on last week. It's just painful to watch a team that is literally like dominating and for the 3rd time dominating and then get gun shy late in the game with play calling. I mean, they just don't. It's like they smell blood in the water and then they get scared that the sharks are coming around and then they end up blowing the game. It's so painful. The fact that the Bears should be 8-5. No, 8-6 right now is crazy. That they literally should be. There's no reason to lose any of those 3 games. So stupid. JP needs to know. PPR, start Nico Collins or Ty Chandler?
I'm going to start Ty Chandler.
I'll go with it. I'll go to touches. Here. Again, if it was Stroud in there, it would be Nico Collins easily for me.
Yep.
But unfortunately, it's not. Which is why JP's here asking the questions, right? He says, I have the same freaking problem. I wish it was Stroud, and it's not. Jonathan says, I picked up the Bears defense for a playoff run. They have been stout, winning me games. They have been electric over the last like 6 weeks, man.
I've got him in one of my semifinals today, and I'm glad because I almost didn't look at my lineup. And Thursday night, I had the Saints in, and I quit. I like probably 30 minutes before the game, I switched it because of the matchup, and
I would
have
had the Saints. I would have had the Saints in there, but they were like my number 7 ranked defense this weekend.
Yeah.
It did not work out, but
in this league, you get defenses are way overpowered where you start with 40. So it's 20 for 0 points allowed and 20 for like 0 to something yards. So if you like the less points is like way more valuable in I just don't see the Bears giving up a lot of points today. So
yeah, that's different. If I'm in most leagues and regular leagues, I'm never worried about how many points they give up.
Yeah, in this league,
I want them to get stacks and stuff, and picks, and right now you're getting turnovers from the Bears, right? I think they've had like 3 takeaways in 3 of the last 4 games. So they're taking the ball away. It's looking like the old Bears teams with the interceptions and everything else. So it's been fun on that side, but our offensive play calling is super trash, and the secondary players, the Tanyans and Scotts and Moonies, just keep fucking up. It's annoying. Dennis says half PPR, start 2. Bijan, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, and start Devonta Smith or pick up JSN, Josh Downs, or Curtis Samuel. So, okay, let's get this first piece in. The half PPR, we need 2 out of the 3, Bijan, Taylor, and Hall. I think we're both going to be on the same page with sitting Hall here, right?
Yeah, this is tough for me with Bijan and Hall. This matchup is super, super nice for Hall, but it also is for Bijan as well. Yeah, I'm gonna sit Breece Hall out of these 2 or 3.
And then who do you want to start? Devonta Smith, JSN, Josh Downs, or Curtis Samuel?
I'll start Devonta Smith.
I'm gonna start Devonta Smith as well. Josh Downs is intriguing with Michael Pittman out, but I'm gonna go with what I know here and stick with Devonta Smith and that offense. Hopefully Hurts a little bit better now that he's not, or hopefully not sick like last week. And there we go with that one. Marco says start Jahan Dotson or JMO.
I will start JMO. I don't really want any of the Commanders wide receivers today against that New York Jets defensive secondary.
Yeah, I'll go JMO as well.
Did you see it said that there was like a meme of this game today? It's like because it's the worst offense and worst defense playing against each other. It said when a movable force meets I can't remember what it said.
When a movable force meets a stoppable object.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's horrible.
EA says thanks. Half PPR. Pick 1, Chandler, Aaron Jones, Singletary, James Conner. Project to be down by 5 points. I'm going Aaron Jones.
I will go with Aaron Jones today as well.
Jonathan says standard league, start 3, Pollard, Chandler, Swift, Williams. Which one are you sitting out of those 4?
I'm going to sit DeAndre Swift.
Me too. I thought you were going to go with Williams, and I thought I was going to be the only one on Swift, but I'm sitting Swift as well.
Nah, Williams, I have more confidence he gets work out of the backfield than I do with Swift.
I'm with you.
That's what salvages his value for me.
I just definitely thought we were going to be on opposite sides on that one.
All right. Who am I going to – I got to make some changes to this DraftKings lineup for what's his name's league.
At least I finally got my camera to work. I might try a $50 prize picks. What do we want to do on prize picks while we're waiting here? Let's see. I would share it, but it'll probably mess everything up again.
True. I can't do prize picks here. Not yet.
All right. Let's see. Ooh, we get a little free, not a free square, but I'm guessing Russell's went, I guess only 3 of the last 5. Wonder if I can share this without messing everything up. Let's go share screen. I don't even have any money on here. I haven't done prize picks in a while. Just haven't had the time.
Let's see. You are frozen, but we can at least see the shared screen.
You still hear me too, right? Oh, will you take
Yeah,
that comment off? Will you take Jonathan's comment off and keep
yeah.
an eye on those? Because I have mine max screened right now. So who do we like, people? Let's see. What do we like?
Here, while you're looking real quick, Jonathan had another one. Standard League, DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, or Calvin Ridley.
Ridley.
I think I'm gonna go with Moore and Wilson. The matchup today for Wilson is just too good for me to really be away from.
Again, quarterback.
Fair enough.
Quarterback.
I can't argue that against that. I'll go with the better player. All right.
Does Joe Flacco go over 275 against Houston?
I'm really not that confident in that. Is Derek Stingley playing today? Derek Stingley Jr.
If you guys see something you think is a smash, type it in the chat. We'll see. Maybe I'll throw it in.
I'm going to full screen it real quick and look.
Oh, yeah. Let me see here. Let me see.
Oh, I like the Trevor Lawrence. Who's he play against today? Tampa? Oh, I thought I saw the 299. I'd be like under that.
Does that make it a little bit easier to see, people?
For me, it does. For sure. Yeah, if they're full screen watching this, they can see it clear as day.
If my camera was...
I like Trevor Siemian over the 174.5. For sure.
Trevor Siemian over 174.5.
Yeah.
What about over 208?
That one makes me a little more nervous, but I still feel like I'd be okay with that one. The Commanders' defense is just so bad. Like their secondary is horrible.
Yeah, they are.
They
are
missed
very,
on that.
bad.
They missed on that Forbes pick.
Let's keep going through. We're only in the passing yards as well.
What's Fields?
2. Well, it depends. So, like, if it's got the little devil, it's like a multiplier. So if he goes over 250, then it's worth more than if you do the.
I like the regular. I like his regular 209 line over 209. Definitely over the 174.
Or you can drop it down to that. So let's see. I don't have any money in here, so it's probably not going to tell me, but we'll see what the multiplier is. So we'll go. What the heck? Oh, obviously it's only
Jonathan Tilley said Tannehill over 214. He liked that.
Tanny? Let's see. Let's look at like receivers here.
Yeah.
Receiving yards.
Yeah, this is more of what I like. Jefferson over 58.5.
Yeah, that's a discount play there, buddy.
For sure, doing that. I kind of like Jonathan Taylor over 17.5. I mean, Michael Pittman's out, I feel like the checkdowns are coming.
I want to get a demon in here. Mingo over 50. What other demons we got? Amari Cooper over 89.5. And Njoku over 79.5. Nico Collins over 69.5. Dalton Schultz over 49.5. Justin Jefferson over 109.5 is his demon.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
What's Addison's demon? Down, it's a little bit lower.
69.5.
I kind of like Addison's too. I like Addison's and Laporta's. Laporta's trying to make freaking history at tight end. Ooh,
Yeah, no
you know who could be a sneaky one is TJ Hawkinson on a revenge game for 69.5.
They just have so many options in that game.
I like Garrett Wilson's 89.5.
What? Look, it's got 79.5.
I like them both.
Just hate the quarterback situation. It's not letting me pick my more or less, though.
Any questions? We look.
Okay, so right now,
DM Fresh asked Dak or Tua.
Dak. Dude,
Dak
I kind of like Curtis Samuel over his. Dude, what did I say earlier? DK for a big game. I got to get him in there at 89.5, right?
Yeah.
Get a 100-yard day out of him today.
You got 5 in there. That's a decent amount already.
Oh, I'm going 6 deep, bro.
What's Rashad White's demon? What's
79.5.
Rashad White's demon? He got 26.5 regular.
He might not have. Oh, he does 39.5. How many times has he beat that? He has only beat that once out of the last 5 weeks. What about Godwin? I feel like Godwin's been better. Nope. Jeez.
He just had a huge game last week. He hasn't had one in a while.
Evan Ingram's done his 2 out of the last 3. Evans only once. Man, maybe I'm getting out of line here a little bit, maybe.
Maybe not another demon. Maybe it was just like a regular line or a soft one.
I was gonna see what DJ Moore's was.
What about Cole Kmet there at 24.5, like a little soft one? What's McBride's? I can't see it.
McBride 79.5 receiving yards on his demon.
What's his one down here? I can't
49.5.
I like the 49.5 a lot. 79.5, that's quite a bit. I don't like that one. That's 20 to win you $540. Geez, 50 is going to win you over 1,000. Over 1,200, actually.
So let's make sure we like these, right? We got Justin Fields at 174.5 pass yards. We got Justin Jefferson 58.5 receiving yards. Jonathan Taylor 17.5 receiving yards. Garrett Wilson 79.5 receiving yards as a demon. DK Metcalf at 89.5 as a demon. And then we tiered down on Trey McBride to 49.5 receiving yards. Gives us 27-1 on a 50 ball. I just gotta not be sharing my screen when I deposit my money.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is just move that off to a different screen, and then I'll show the ticket afterwards.
All right, I'll get back over here. No more questions still. We're good on questions.
And now I'm going to forget, and it's going to reset them, and I didn't even think about that. I'm a doofus. I just ruined that whole thing.
I remember it.
Get a code to my phone.
We had Garrett Wilson's Demon, DK Metcalf's Demon, Trey McBride's green one, Justin Fields' green one, and then we had the regular lines for Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor on receiving yards.
Okay. I probably could have showed that whole situation anyway because it's just my PayPal. But all right, so we got the money in there now. We're gonna go back and do this again. So we have Fields.
It was his 174 and a half. Yep.
174 and a half. What's his regular 209? Yeah, we'll do 174. Then we had McBride on the
green
one, so 49 and a half.
Then we had Jefferson.
Jefferson discount
regular.
58 and a half.
JT at 17 and a half.
And then
Wilson and Metcalf on their 89 and like 79 or something like that.
Wilson. 79 and a half for Garrett Wilson and Metcalf 89 and a half. I don't what do the payouts change to if I just take the 64 and a half here?
Good luck. It was 27-1 before.
Yep. 16-1. I'm gonna take the big one on him. 27-1. So we are betting 50 to win 1350.
That's a big boy.
Oh, the most I can do on this is 25. Guess we got to do 2 25s then.
Why did they even do that? Oh,
it's because I had a discounted play in it. It's because of the Jefferson play.
But do you think it'll take out the Jefferson now for you? Like you won't be able to use it again?
Oh, I don't remember if it does that or not, to be honest with you. I think you can use it again. You just can only do maximum 25 on.
Well, then that's so stupid. Like, what's the point?
But what about, I mean, no, I don't like that against you guys. Let's look at some rushing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or actually, let's just do one that's all TDs. Like, who's scoring a TD today? Let's pick 6 guys that are scoring a TD.
Okay. Let's look.
Did Kelsey get one today?
He's got to, right? I mean, he hasn't had one in forever. Let's hope he has 4.
Okay, but I'll just take the 1.
Yeah. I like Montgomery for 1 today.
Man, Minnesota's tough against the run.
They are, but that team scores a lot. All right, we'll skip him. JT, I like JT for 1.
You like JT for 1?
He's a little bit down, a little bit further. And I like Derrick Henry for 1.
Okay, so let's do over on Henry. Where am I? Oh, Taylor. Okay.
I kind of like Addison for 1, but he did have 2 last week.
I was looking at Laporta.
I like Bryce too. I do like Laporta. And Bryce. Bryce or
anybody
Wilson.
In the chat saying anything?
Let's see. I have to go full screen to be able to see.
Yeah, I know. I have to go back and forth.
DJ Moore. DJ Moore for a touchdown is Jonathan Tilley. I don't think you're going to oppose to that.
Nope, we'll put DJ Moore in there. We didn't get him in the other one anyway. DJ Moore, and it's Demon. All right. What else we like? What else we like?
Ooh. Who's some other demon plays? I like Zeke for one, to be honest.
I'm staying away from Denver defense, and I'm staying away from Patriots defense.
What about
stay
Isaiah?
away
What
from
about
them.
Isaiah Pacheco?
That's what I was just getting ready to say. With everybody out, I like him. So right now we have Kelsey. Well, that's two. I don't know, man. That's two Chiefs.
You know, like stacking
Which
Chiefs.
one do we
That's
like?
fine.
Which one do we like more?
I like Pacheco more than Kelsey. But Kelsey's a demon.
Yeah, I'll take Kelsey with the demon.
Okay.
He's got to get one.
Yeah.
Got to get one sometime. I mean, we could probably pick one of any of these three guys from the 49ers.
I'm taking Debo of anybody. He's been a touchdown machine this year.
They do have a tougher matchup, but let's go with Debo. And then we need one more. Let's go more. This is giving us 17x right now. So we just got to find that one last touchdown guy. I would like Sutton, but again, I
kind of like Achane.
If I'm going with a running back from Dolphins, I'm going to go with Mostert just because he's got 20 of them because he's a beast.
I just like the demon on him.
A lot of these guys have demons though, unless they're CMC. You have to do 1.5 on CMC to.
Right, fair enough. What about Ridley? You like Ridley today? He did score last week, and they didn't call it a touchdown. I don't know how.
Let's see. You know what? Oh no, we already got DK on the other one. But I guess if he has a long touchdown, that. See how many games. Okay.
Rashad White. That's a nice.
Let's just go with Mr. Consistency. He's been no.
What's he get? What's it make you? What's it make you though? What's it give you?
Yeah.
20 to win 500. I mean, oh wait,
30,
crap.
35x.
Yeah, I think that's.
What is it if we put a demon in there though? If we find a guy that we like as a demon, what's that gonna?
Like just click Brees and see what it says.
Laporta, more, 45 to 1. So we're gonna go with another demon. Okay,
I like Laporta or Jordan Addison or T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson to score against his old team. I like that too. I like all three of those guys.
We're gonna. We got more too. We'll just take another quick look. We don't have
Gibbs is a demon and he's a running back. Devin Singletary is a demon. Oh, that's Cleveland. I don't like that.
Right, I thought Singletary earlier too. I wanted to look at Hubbard's because they have a bad.
Aaron Jones, a demon.
McBride's only had one touchdown.
Kenneth Walker's a demon. Can't believe Derrick Henry's one.
Wonder what McCaffrey does at 51. Makes it 51 if he gets 2. Anything in the chat?
Ty Chandler and Debo.
That's in the chat
too, but yeah, from Tilly.
I just wish he was a demon on here. About to go back to DK. I like DK too.
I kind of like a rushing touchdown from a quarterback.
You know what? Look at this. We got Mike Evans as a
demon.
Yeah.
Throw him in there.
More.
A lot of these guys that you have in this right here, I have in some leagues in the playoffs. So this would be very nice.
Here's the question. Is there somebody you like over Jonathan Taylor? He is not a demon at 0.5. We could put another demon in there and see what it does.
Probably not. I really like Jonathan Taylor today. I'm most confident in him and Derrick Henry out of anybody to score. I mean, running backs are usually the higher odds scoring touchdowns.
All right, so this is 36-1 on another 25.
900.
Wait,
That can't be right.
What is going on? That's what I was going to say. Wasn't that the same thing?
Well, did one of them not clicked or something?
More. Yeah, 35-1. What are the odds changing as we're doing? I bet that's what's happening.
Probably.
Place entry.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if all your stuff hits, you'll be $2,000 richer.
Right? Let's see
nice.
here. We got this bad boy for
Oh yeah, Jonathan Taylor went to green. Look at that. He was not green before.
Yep. So we've got the Fields, McBride, Jefferson, Taylor, Wilson, and Metcalf on this side. And then we've got Kelsey, Henry, Taylor, Moore, Samuel, and Evans, all for a touchdown each. Yeah, there we go.
Wicks or Nico? I'm going to go with Nico here.
Nico for me as well. Let's see here. Well, I think we can call that a day, huh? 12:07. I got family Christmas getting ready to start up as well. Hey, we appreciate everybody coming by holiday weekend and chatting with us. We will be back next Sunday at 11 a.m. and a lot of cool stuff coming from RotoHeat over the off season. Thanks for helping me pick some of those players, and we will see you next week.
See ya.